of myself and our daughter. I recognised the small suite that followed her. Besides poor Erskine, there were her surgeon, Germain, and her physician, Bourgoin, the steward of her household, Adrien de Guise, a man she had known in her youth in France, and her favourite tirewoman, Margaret Hargett. None of the men around me uncovered when she came in, but kept on their high-crowned black hats. Not wanting to be conspicuous, I did the same. The murmuring stopped. Mary sat down in a chair draped with black velvet, the low velvet-covered block in front of her. The death warrant was read. She was attainted of treason. She had conspired to kill Queen Elizabeth, the warrant said, and had exhorted others to kill her as well. She had to die. Then a cleric preached to her, and afterwards knelt and began to pray in English after the Protestant fashion. For we were in England, after all, and England is a Protestant realm. But Mary, abandoning her chair and kneeling with difficulty, opened her Latin prayer book and began to say her Catholic prayers, her voice carrying even more loudly than his, and some among the spectators crossed themselves and mouthed the old Latin words along with her. At first, I thought someone would silence her, and I looked around at the soldiers who stood by, and the sheriff's men arrayed around the edges of the newly built wooden platform, their halberds at the ready, their faces expressionless. But no one in authority moved or spoke, and so she prayed on, her high voice broken but brave, until she reached her Amen. I saw now that one of her hands was trembling, and I could not tell if it was from the cold or from fear. I had an impulse to rush up to her, to put my own warm cloak around her, though I knew I didn't dare. And in that moment she paused once more to look around at those gathered to watch her, and she met my gaze. I knew at once that she recognised me. A light came into her eyes, and there was the faintest smile on her pale lips. I even thought I detected a flush on her cheeks, though it might have been a mere trick of the wintry sunlight that was beginning to filter in through the high windows. "Orange blossom," I wanted to cry out. "My dearest, I tried, I did my best." But she had already begun to forgive the executioner Bull and his burly assistant for the bloody work they were about to do, and to hand them the token coins that were the symbol of her forgiveness. It would not be long now, I thought. Only a moment, and then those brave, loving eyes will close forever. Now I was the one who trembled, and I am not a cowardly man. I turned aside. I could not watch. When I found my courage again and looked in her direction, I saw that her women had taken off the black outer gown she wore to reveal the dark red gown she had on underneath it. Red as dried blood, red for martyrdom. Then I heard a silence, and then a swish of cloth, and in a moment a dull thud. A shiver passed through the crowd. I looked up and saw that the first blow of the axe had not severed her head, but sliced into it. A clumsy, crude blow, unpardonable. The knave had missed his target entirely. Vowing to slice him to ribbons once I found him, after the gory day was over, I watched as the next blow cut deep into her neck, but still did not sever her head entirely. Her blood gushed out, quantities of blood, and I could not help but gasp and try not to sob at the sight of it. At the very last, before she died, she saw me. I swear she did. I saw her lips mouth the words, "Jamie, my Jamie." Her lips went on moving, even after they held her head up, first by the red-brown wig that soon parted from the head and allowed it to bounce grotesquely along the floorboards, and then by her true hair, lank and grey and dusty from the dirt of the floor. Margaret told me afterwards